Hi, I want to talk today about the financial enslavement caused by student debt and credit card usury in the United States. And I want to talk about the student loan trap that so many kids get into. Student loans, now totaling over $1.75 trillion, represent a form of generational financial imprisonment in America. And it's a direct result of the Federal Reserve Board of the United States. So you can't get rid of them if you file bankruptcy. Ensuring that low-income borrowers, young people who want to be teachers, for an example, they will remain indefinitely indebted because of these high interest rates, which often exceed 12 to 16% and can jump to 20% or more as soon as you miss a single payment. The vast majority of people who borrow such large sums of money in the very beginning of their lives as young adults, simply to attend school and better themselves, will never be able to pay off their student loans with interest rates this high. And as a nation, we have all just accepted this as normal, when it should be seen as one of the most heinous fucking crimes against humanity imaginable. And it is a crime, one that is being committed against our young people. Our children. Our children are the future of our nation. As a country and people, we should be making our greatest and most important significant investments into the lives of our children. Not allowing some bald-headed, fat little fucking vampires in New York cripple them for the rest of their lives with debt just to go to school. Why do we let people like this abuse our children the way we do and sit back and do nothing? Why do we refuse to create an educational system that cares for our children? A system that makes their welfare and education the most important thing, rather than allowing some just despicable fucking people to beat them over the heads with debt simply because they want to better themselves and go to school, get an education. Think about how fucked up that is. The other thing we do in this country is we have allowed gradual changes in usury and consumer lending practices just creep up over the decades, and now we've normalized it. Federal Reserve Bank members dominate consumer credit markets, charging as much as 12 to 30% APR, annual percentage rates, on credit cards and other types of consumer debt. These rates were considered criminal under state usury laws as baby boomers were growing up. Somebody charged this much debt when I was a kid, their fucking ass is in jail. But over time, Wall Street has lobbied on both state and federal levels to have such rates legalized, and then doubled, tripled, and even quadrupled over the years. So they've been normalized by each new generation rather than seen as criminals or criminal acts as my parents and grandparents would have seen them. And then these rates have been sustained by federal deregulation and a lack of enforcement, allowing hundreds of billions in profit to be extracted from working class households every fucking year. Okay, think about why we do this. And think about if you agree with what I'm saying right here, okay? Don't fucking scroll. Like this and then share it with at least 2 people in your email or friends on TikTok or wherever you're saying this. Because they will not, when I say they, the billionaires, whether this is on Google or TikTok, Meta, these people do not want you hearing what I'm talking about. The other thing I'm going to say, I listened to a woman today talk about Democrats need to get excited. The Democrats we have in Congress right now, these motherfuckers are just as corrupt as the Republicans. They're the ones that have voted for this shit. They act like they're on the other side and there's a choice. Bullshit. Obama had that White House, the Senate, and the House. He could have given us single payer health care, the best system in the goddamn world. Or what did we get? Obamacare. A license to fucking steal for companies like United Healthcare. Those people kill 1 million Americans a year, minimum, by denying claims. They drive 650,000 people into bankruptcy. Okay? The Democratic Party needs to be replaced as badly as the Republican. And I'm not saying replace him with a fucking Republican from the other party. If you agree with what I'm saying and you're of age, okay, run yourself. Go run for office. If you agree with what I'm saying, then do it. We need more Zoran Mamdanis in the country. Okay, more Bernie Sanders. This book, I wrote this book last year. And I wrote it because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I made my first million at 30. I've made tens of millions of dollars in my life. If you drive a gas-driven car, you have Green Plains ethanol in your tank at least once a month. And I'm talking about the 10% ethanol blend that's in all cars to meet the clean air standards, if we have any of those anymore. Now, fucking Trump's trying to destroy the EPA so he can make money from the oil companies. But in this book, I talk about how they manipulated stocks in the Roaring 20s, and then I show that so people can see how they're manipulating housing and lying about how many houses they own. They own millions and millions more houses than they're fucking saying they are. They own them through nominees. All these kids on TV saying they'll buy your house for free or for, for cash. Where the fuck do you think they get the cash? It's from these New York funds, Blackstone, BlackRock. All these people are working together to fuck Americans. And they got this little orange-headed Donald Trump fucking trying to overthrow all the freedoms. If you're of age and you agree with this, like it and share it with at least 2 people. Okay, and the reason I brought up the ethanol, this book, how I made $6 million in 3 years. That's the story about Green Plains. And I made a hell of a lot more than $6 million in 3 years. When the stock opened, I made $21 million. I put $50,000 into it. Like I said, it's GPRE on NASDAQ. I'm sharing that only so you know I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that book, the one about Wall Street, that was the #1 best-selling book in both private equity and venture capital for the first 2.5 weeks it came out on Amazon last year. All of a sudden, one day, it just stopped because somebody on Wall Street read it. And they said, get rid of this fucking book. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's explaining what we do far too well. We do not want people knowing this because then they'll see it and understand it. There won't be any more guessing. They'll recognize the lies that Wall Street tell all day. And I'm telling you, with AI, you need to become politically active. If you're 18 and you think that it's not important and you can just hide your head in the sand and it'll all go away, you're fooling yourself. You need to become politically active. If you agree with this, like this video and share it with 2 people, please, or nobody's going to see it. And you need to become politically active. If you don't want to run for office, you go find one of your friends that does, that has the same values, that wants to tax the billionaires, that wants to spend money on infrastructure so we can strengthen this company, that wants to create an educational system to help our kids get an education, not get Wall Street rich by burying their asses in debt. These fuckers on Wall Street should be in jail for what they do to our kids. And it's just fucking normal. We think, let them buy up all the student housing, which they've done, then raise the rents. Then they pay kickbacks to these motherfuckers running our universities now who pay themselves $1 million, $2 million. They've jacked tuitions up over the last 20 years by 10, 20 times. And when kids go in to go to school, they take them in the back room and try to get them to borrow money from Wall Street. And they get kickbacks on that shit. We are the only country in the fucking world that does this. How is this okay? Think about this for a minute. Don't just go look at somebody else making a fucking cake or doing whatever they're doing. Stop scrolling and think. Because these motherfuckers are trying to take your freedoms away from you. This isn't child's play. This is real life. You fuck around with this, you're going to not have your freedoms and you won't be able to get them back unless you get in a real bloody fucking confrontation in the future. It's time to wake up. And if you agree with this, share it and run for office. We need younger people, not these brain-dead lying motherfuckers. We've got Nancy Pelosi, and here we've got Susie Lee. They're lying. They're fucking lying, all of them. They voted for this shit. They gave you the crap. Don't believe it. Run for office. Get new people in there. It isn't that hard. Get on these kinds of things and go talk to all your neighbors. Run for the rep that's in your area. Go pass out flyers. Go talk to people. Talk to people at universities. Run for office. We need new people. We get the right people in office, we can change all of this shit in a couple of weeks. There's a bill out right now called HR 1745. Adam Smith has written it. It needs to be amended to force Wall Street to sell all of their homes within 5 years, not 10. But we can already get them out if you'll call your reps and tell them to fucking vote for this bill. HR 1745. And I know I've gone on longer than I said, but if you agree with what I'm saying, share this, like it, or it's going to get hidden. This shit's serious. Pay attention to it, please. Thanks. Have a good day.